All right, let's dive into a question that is, let's be honest, on pretty much everyone's mind these days. We're living in this new world of AI, so how do we actually use it thoughtfully? How do we use it ethically? Let's get right into it. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You're using a tool, maybe something like ChatGPT, and you get this little flicker of uncertainty. That voice in your head asking, am I doing this right? Is this okay? Is this actually helping me think for myself? If you've ever felt that, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. That's a feeling that students and professionals all over the place are dealing with right now. And that feeling, it really points to a much bigger issue. We're calling it the AI uncertainty gap. We've got these incredibly powerful tools at our fingertips, but there's a serious lack of clear, practical guidance on how to use them the right way. And the stakes are pretty high, right? Without a real strategy, we risk kind of undermining our own learning and, frankly, producing work we can't really stand behind. And just to be clear, this is not some small niche problem. A 2025 KPMG Canada study found something huge. 73% of students are already using generative AI for their schoolwork. Wow, that's not a trend anymore. That's just the new normal. But here's where it gets really interesting. People aren't just using AI in secret, they're actually asking for help. A full 77% of those students said they want formal training on how to use it. And it's no wonder. I mean, you've got major players like the OECD and the World Economic Forum all saying the same thing. AI literacy is now an absolutely crucial skill for your future career. The problem is, most of us are just winging it, navigating this whole new world without a map, feeling a little lost. So, what's the answer? Well, it's not about learning a few clever prompts or tricks. It's about a total shift in mindset. It's about moving away from the idea of shortcuts and towards genuine mastery. That's how we build a foundation that's actually going to last. And this brings us right to the heart of it all, the idea of ethical AI mastery. Think of it as a guided experience, one that's designed from the ground up to build those skills we're all missing. And pay attention to those keywords here: thoughtful, ethical, and independent. The goal is to empower you, not to make you dependent on a machine. So let's be super clear on this. It's so important to understand what this approach is and what it isn't. This is not about finding quicker ways to get out of doing the work. Not at all. It's about using AI as a kind of thinking partner, a tool to help you sharpen your own ideas, communicate them better, and in the end, make smarter, more informed judgments. Okay, so that all sounds pretty great in theory, but how does it actually work? What does it look like day to day? Well, the whole program is built on what's called a deliberate learning path. It's designed to be super focused, totally manageable, and really, really effective. It's broken down into two really simple parts. First up, there's the main core program, which takes 25 days. That's where you build all the foundational skills. And then, for anyone who wants to go a little deeper, there's an optional 5-day capstone extension to really lock in what you've learned. Now, this core program is designed for real life, for busy people. We're talking short, focused tasks each day that'll take you maybe 15 to 25 minutes. You'll learn the nuts and bolts of how to guide AI, sure, but what's even more important is you'll develop your own personal boundaries for using it ethically. And because it's self-paced and there are no grades, all that pressure is gone. The focus is just on learning and getting it done. And I just love this quote because it perfectly captures the whole spirit of the program. This isn't for tech geniuses or AI experts. It's for anyone, literally anyone who's just willing to slow down for a minute and be thoughtful. That just removes so many of the reasons someone might think, oh, this isn't for me. So after you go through this whole deliberate process, what's the actual payoff? What do you walk away with? Well, it boils down to this really powerful combination of confidence, clarity, and a solid plan for what's next. First and foremost, you're going to walk away feeling so much more confident. Remember that nagging uncertainty we talked about at the very beginning? Well, imagine that being replaced with a real sense of competence and control. Next, and this is a fascinating side effect, you'll gain incredible clarity in your own thinking. It turns out that learning how to guide an AI really forces you to be more precise and structured in your own head. And finally, you get to leave all that anxiety behind. Once you've built a strong ethical framework and a practical set of skills, you'll have a responsible approach to using these tools that you can actually explain and defend. No more doing AI wrong. And it's not just about feelings. You get real, tangible assets out of this. If you do the capstone, you get a certificate of completion. But honestly, even more valuable is the personal AI use statement you create. It's basically a document that spells out your rules for how you'll engage with AI, giving you a powerful way to explain your process to anyone, a professor, a boss, anyone. Now, a journey like this, it's not something you should have to do all by yourself. The whole program is built around this idea of guidance, not just inside the course, but for the bigger picture of your career, too. Inside the course itself, this support shows up as coach's notes. Think of them as these little bits of encouragement and perspective that pop up right when you need them, just to keep you on track and offer some reassurance. And this whole philosophy of supportive guidance, it doesn't just stop when the course is over. If you're also feeling that lack of career clarity we mentioned earlier, that's where the experienced coaches and mentors at Pathfinder Campus come in. They're there to offer that same kind of personalized support for your entire professional journey. So if you feel like you're ready to take that next step towards a clearer, more confident career path, it's really easy to get the ball rolling. There are experienced coaches ready to help. You can just schedule a free initial consultation by visiting pathfindercampus.ca/contact. In the end, whether we're talking about learning AI or figuring out your next career move, I think it's so important to remember this final thought. There is no rush. There is only progress. It's all about taking those deliberate, thoughtful steps forward one day at a time.